Welcome to the second webinar on the impact of coronavirus on Indian economy. On 23rd, I had a similar webinar wherein, like say, there were some quite interesting deliberations took place, and there were some interesting suggestions were also there in the webinar. After the webinar was over, I have received some email from participants saying that, the prospective participants saying that participants said it was so good and they wanted to go for a second version, which, like say, including the latest developments that has taken place in the economy. Few other participants who were not able to attend the webinar, they requested me to host a webinar once again. That is the reason for this second webinar on countering the economic impact particularly from Indian perspective. In this webinar, like say after my address, you can very well ask questions. Just, if you have any questions, what I suggest is that you take note of a question. You can post the question in the chat box, and you can wait for my reply. Now I will start addressing my views on the economic impact. We all know that this coronavirus emerged. First, it was found in China. It has created a great damage for the Chinese lives and Chinese economy. And then at that point of time, the world was not so aware of the probable impact on the global economy. The world was not so aware, and they were mocking at the Chinese developments. Later, what happened is that the virus started spreading in the Western European countries and in fact countries nearby China, and then from Western Europe to America, South America, and then again to the Asian continent, and almost all countries around the world. All countries around the world are now facing the impact of corona, both on medical health side as well as on the economic side. Our discussion will be out and out fully on the economic impact of coronavirus. Okay, so what happens is that to understand the probable impact of a particular whatever pandemic or war, financial crisis, whatever it may be, we should have some basics. We should have some understanding on the developments or the history of such pandemics and crises which has happened in this world. For which I will explain you and brief you with some developments that has taken place in the 20th century, so that you have some idea about the developments historically. First World War, Great Depression, Second World War, few crises in the 1970s and one crisis at the end of 1980s. And you all know about the global financial crisis, and now we are at the coronavirus crisis. To understand the economic impact of all these issues, during Second World War, definitely yes, there was a huge damage in the Second World War, damage caused to the global economy. What happened is that there was again a sort of recession and slowdown in the economy those days. But by and large, those days, the global economy was agriculture based, agrarian. Though a few industries were there, but entire economy was agriculture based economy. And at that point of time, there were a few economists who, like say, went for a breakthrough, like say, economic theories, came out with new suggestions to give life to to come out of the recession of those days. Particularly, economists like John Maynard Keynes and a few other economists of those days, they went for a big diversifying from the existing economic theories and said, like too much of government spending will be advisable at that point of time, so that when there is of good government spending, there will be money circulation in the economy, which means it will create a sort of good demand. But however, what happened? There was not a big economic development as expected by the economists of those days. Later, somehow the entire world, like say, started facing the impact of I mean, the Great Depression. From recession and slowdown point of view, the entire economy went for a Great Depression, which means once there is a small slowdown, it will take 1 year. Immediately, it will recover. Recessions normally it will take 4 to 5 years to recover. When it is a Great Depression, again the cycle to recover it will be a prolonged period. For example, 7 8 years or even more than that. That was the scenario. Even at that point of after global, I mean, Great Depression, Roosevelt was president of USA. There were like now, even those days, we had a stock market. America had a very vibrant stock market. Many other few Western countries had a very good stock market. Financial market was performing good, but because of Great Depression, the entire world came to a standstill. The economic impact that I mean, started in US, Western economies, there was an impact globally. To overcome that, again, say, economists came out with several ideas and several policies so that economic recovery will take place those days quickly. I mean, immediate economic recovery. But as expected by economists, famous economists of those days, recovery was not so easy because even though what they said as like say demand side effect, demand side like say improvement or vibrancy in the demand side, there was no much of economic like say improvement growth in the economy of those days. But fortunately, what happened? We can even call it as blessing in disguise because of Second World War. Lot of production took place. Production, supply, demand again led to production. I mean, the cycle was a bit faster, and the economic it resulted in vibrancy in the economic activities, and there was a growth in American economy, Western economy, and worldwide economy was there because of Second World War. But that was a wartime story. But because of war, Second World War, again there was a big slump in the international economic activity. Global countries were clueless about the future of their economy, and they what happened at that point of time. I mean, I would even say it is the first time in the history, in the recent history, countries around the world, not all, selected countries around the world, mostly developed nations of those days, like UK, USA, and other countries, they came to like say an understanding that we should have a like say a meeting to discuss about the future of global economic activity, future of their own nations for that matter, to come out with new economic policies, new economic theories that will guide them in the future. So they assembled at Bretton Woods, a place in USA in New Hampshire, and we call it as Bretton Woods system. They came out with two famous international institutions, the World Bank and the IMF. So at this point of time, you have to understand that First World War, Great Depression, which means -6%, 7% drop in the GDP and global GDP, and which took a long time to recover, followed by Second World War. And at this point of time, economists and leaders around the world, they came together, which I'm insisting here. I wanted to again insist: countries around the world, leaders around the world, economists around the world, they came together to decide the future course of action in 1944. In 1944 itself, it happened, and after that, there was a spurt in economic activities. Global trade increased, exports, import, financial markets, everywhere there was a growth surge in the economic activities in almost in all sectors, barring few crises. I mean, the oil crisis and other crises. By and large, the economic activities were smooth. Now, what happened? very recently, the global financial crisis from 19 prior to 1944, I mean the Second World War, till the global financial crisis, 2008. It was close to, we all know that it is around 60 years for that matter. The 60 years period, the entire world went for a big transformation. First World War, very closer to Great Depression. The entire world was agrarian-based economy, little bit of industrial activity. Service sector was almost negligible. But in this 60-year period from after Second World War to global financial crisis, if you closely observe what has happened in the world, you can understand that a significant transformation has happened. A huge industrialization, massive industrialization. Service sector has grown leaps and bounds, and the original primary sector, which is considered agriculture, the role of agriculture, the contribution of agriculture in international GDP for that matter, it has come down. So what happened is service sector started playing a major role, followed by industries, followed by lesser role for the economic, agriculture-based economy. This is the transformation. You have to compare with 1930s Great Depression with that of global financial crisis 2008. So at that point of time, when John Maynard Keynes, we call it Keynesian theory, Keynesian economics, such a famous economists were there those days. He himself took part in Bretton Woods meeting. So those big economists were there to give some idea to transform, to direct the economy in development path when there was agriculture-based society. But whereas now, in 2008, it was a digitalized world. World was interconnected. It's a globalized world. Production will happen in one country, for which inputs will be from 50 countries. The production will again be distributed to 50 countries, if not many other countries for that matter. This was the scenario. So from an agriculture point of view, we were able to manage the Great Depression. In global financial crisis period, again, we were able to manage the crisis, financial crisis. We call it global financial crisis. It created a recession. There was a big fallout in economical activities. Financial markets faced huge crisis, almost all sector. The crisis which emerged in USA spilled over to the Western economies and to the entire world. But closely observe, in 2008-2009, people were talking about once again a Great Depression like 1930s, but it did not happen. It did not happen. Even the recession, for that matter, which emerged out of global financial crisis, did not exist for a long time. Which means even there is a slow growth. For example, America, either 0.5%, 1% growth. India, for that matter, 7%, 6.5% growth. China, even better growth comes in India. Globally for speaking, for that matter, there was the entire world came out of the recession scenario. How it happened? Like John Maynard Keynes, like Harry Texter, who advised the entire world those days in 1930s and 40s. Now, after the global financial crisis, you know about the impact of global financial crisis. It is not small. Several banks, very big banks failed. Government like American government gave a helping hand. They did bailout of few companies. The crisis was very serious, but it was not allowed to continue for a long time. The economy recovered. How? The economy recovered because of global leaders came to an understanding. Global institutions like the World Bank, IMF led a helping hand. These global bodies like G20, a group of 20 nations, global leaders, they started having contact with the rest of the countries, leaders of other countries. They sensitized them. Almost financial recovery process took place in almost all countries. Maybe the extent of the relief measures or the recovery measures may differ. For example, in America, almost interest rate was drastically reduced. May not be in the similar way, but even in India and other countries, interest rates has come down drastically. America went for quantitative easing, but whatever it is, economy recovered. So even at this point, I find what I wanted to highlight is that similar to the after Great Depression, after World War, even now after global financial crisis, leaders, international economists came to an understanding. Leaders came to an understanding for what? To give life to the ailing international economy. And they were successful to some extent. I will not say it was a very massive development, great transformation. It's not so, but it happened. However, in 2008, after Great Depression, 2008, 60, 70 years difference. But now, 2008, 2009 financial crisis, just in 10 years, now we have coronavirus crisis. Just in 10 years, like the big transformation that has happened in the international economy between Great Depression and global financial crisis, there is no big transformation in the international economy, international scenario in these 10 years. 2008, the world was digitalized. 2008, we had an interconnected world. 2008, we had international financial markets, interconnected financial markets. In fact, a very digitalized, globalized economy. Same is prevailing now. The same is prevailing now. If so, if same is prevailing now, can we take the experiences of global financial crisis to manage the current coronavirus economic crisis? This is the question. This is what we are going to discuss today. Can we take experience? Looking back, can we take experience from the global financial crisis to manage the current coronavirus economic crisis? The answer is yes, and the answer is no also to some extent. Comparing the global scenario, global economic scenario that was prevailing 10 years before, yes, we can take that into consideration. But however, you have to understand that during global financial crisis, what actually happened is some sort of demand side crisis. A serious issue has happened. Even at the crisis time, industries were open. Failed banks were given hand; they were out of the crisis. People were going to job in spite of some, serious loss in jobs. Unemployment was there. So, for example, 8%, 8.5% unemployment was there. But whatever it is, economic activities were going on. Okay, but now what happens is that those day 2008 global economic crisis, the crisis was on the financial market, financial instruments. They are like say the technology or the engineering and novel introducing so-called financial technologically sound financial instruments were introduced in the market, and because of uncontrolled, unsupervised instruments, that has created a great damage. That was the scenario. But now what happens is that financial markets were functioning, production was taking place, supply was taking place, supply chain was intact. From buying side, demand side also, there was a good demand. Economy was almost in the recovery path after the global financial crisis. But there was an unknown enemy in the name of coronavirus. Who expected this? It is highly unprecedented that an unknown enemy, even no one knows as of now what will be the sort of the spread, how it spreads, etc. This enemy has created a great danger to the global economy. Unheard of lockdowns. This 40-day lockdown which we are experiencing, the 60-day lockdown period which few other countries has represented. Almost 180 countries in the world are now under the influence of coronavirus. 50% of the entire world is under lockdown. Production, he asked, voluntarily it was stopped, not by any financial instruments. not be any demand supply crisis. Governments, the leaders on the world, at the advice of the physicians and doctors, the entire world was involved. Now we need to see that. This has created a serious. So what happens is that there is a supply side impact, unlike it was happening earlier. Supply side impact, which means there is no supply. Production, if there is production, there will be supply. So supply side, there is a crisis that is man-made, purposely made to meet some exigencies created by corona to, like say, to self-isolate ourselves and to prevent spread of coronavirus. What happens is that this has created a serious impact on the global economy. What is global economy? That we will discuss. What is the extent of global economy? What is the scenario that was prevailing? See, you have to understand that even though am telling about, mentioning about the global economic recovery after the global financial crisis in this 9-10 years period, you have to understand that though there is economic recovery, though the like some sort of we are not, we could say that it was in recession. People were not classifying that way to some extent. Like say excluding few economies. Okay, even India was sort of there was a doubtful debate between economists saying that whether it is in slowdown or in recession. What happens is that though the global financial crisis emerged because of engineered financial instruments, sophisticated financial instruments, ununderstandable financial instruments, after the crisis, after 4 or 5 years of the crisis, the same instruments, because of the same instruments, or even much more sophisticated instruments, the global financial market has grown. For example, if it is one during 2008, after that, maybe after 5, 6, 7 years, that it has grown 5 times bigger, which means it is entirely debt-based economy. It is entirely debt-based. For example, it is several trillion dollars bigger than the global GDP. The actual production that is taking place, the net worth of the nations, economic activity, is much more bigger. So there was a big, like say, ghost that was there, a bubble that was building around the economy. This is on the one side. Now, whatever it is, production and supply, I mean the demand and supply, there was a matching factor and it was going on. Now, as of now, can we take experience, the global financial crisis experience to solve the coronavirus economic impact? No. Those days, production, supply, demand, there was a match. But now, entirely the production, I mean, and supply has come to a standstill. So what will happen is that when there is no supply, naturally the demand, like say, the demand, even though in spite of demand is there, people are ready to buy products will be available. That is the scenario. On the other side, interestingly, what happens is that unlike the Great Depression and unlike global financial crisis, here in this corona crisis, what happens is that even there is a impact on the demand side. How industries are locked down, entire world is in lockdown. There is no salary, no wages, there is no money circulation, which are all required for creating demand. So automatically what happens is that one side supply side issue, on the other side demand side issue. So there is a clear gap between demand and supply in this this is a very novel situation in this particular crisis. What happens is that to maybe to overcome this crisis, to keep the cycle moving, government has pumped. Now I will not say a very big relief package that is given. For example, we will take the example of India. I will not say that it is a very big relief package, but initially from Jan Dhan account 500 rupees, those who are having Jan Dhan account, they give for few landowners, I mean farmers, not agricultural laborers, some 2,000 rupees, who are all coming under a particular Prime Minister scheme, they are given 2,000. State government, particularly Tamil Nadu for that matter, Tamil Nadu has given, I am talking about 30 days back, 1,000 rupees per each household, 15 kg rice, 1 liter of edible oil, 1 kg dal, and 1 kg of sugar. All this got exhausted in 10 days. All this got exhausted in 10 days. And now, exhausted in the sense, their money was already spent for their livelihood. And now people in the sense, the vulnerable section of the society, they are starving for things. That is something. They are looking for second set of relief package from the state government, from the central government. This is one scenario. Small scale industries who are providing, the micro and small agriculture sector is the major sector. I will touch on that later. So this is the situation of people who fall below the poverty line. Coming to micro, small, and I will not touch upon medium, micro and small entrepreneurs and enterprises. Either there will be single man, one man show, one owner plus 2 employees, one owner plus 5 employees, 10 employees. This is the scenario. As far as India is concerned, this sector is one of the very important player in the Indian economic activity because they employ, it's a big surprise, close to 10 crore employment opportunities provided by this sector. Tailors, mechanic shops, electrical shops, pani puri seller, flower vendor are all coming under this huge chunk, self-reliant. They also give job to 1 or 2, and they play a major role in Indian economic activity. Interestingly, these people will not have, they are almost closer to our poverty, those who come under poverty, but they are self-dependent. For how many days? They will not expect a government help for long days. For initially, which means they will have some money in that packet, maybe for 1 week, maybe for 2 weeks. With that money, because lockdown was announced, they stopped their regular business. The regular business was closed, and they spent for their own, and they also spent for their employees. This was the scenario. Those people's money also got exhausted. Agriculture sector, farmers, very good, we call it as Kaladi, Samba and Kuruvai. Very good yield this time. Because of this, they were the economic activity, the livelihood opportunity and the village level rural economy was vibrant and good. Unfortunately, because of this lockdown, what happened is that there was no transportation facility. The production that was happening, the harvest from the farmland was not able to take it to the market. Because of this, even if there is a possibility of taking to a nearby market without depending on transportation facility, what happened is that there was no buyers in the market. There should be some agents who do that interlinking job, and buyers were not coming to the market to consume the products. By which a lot of crop, mostly perishable crops, got damaged, perished in the farmland itself, and very few farmers survived. Otherwise, long-term crops, the 3 months, 4-month crops, that cropping, cultivation cycle is under process. This is the scenario, which means agricultural laborers, daily wage earners, unorganized workers, micro level, tiny sector business owners, small business owners, they are all in huge, massive stress and risk at this point of time, which means all these are all supply side factors. Demand from where the base demand used to get generated, and because of no generation of demand from this normally, even if it is supplied at this point of time, there is no demand. Buying capacity is not there, and demand. This is the issue. On the other side, I would say the financial impact. There are huge, a list of demands placed by medium, small, medium, and large scale entrepreneurs, corporates for that matter, asking the government to compensate their employees' wages, salary, electricity bill, and they also wanted a waiver of loan because the entire world is in lockdown. Business closed, everyone is inside their house, shops are closed, almost a standstill. One thing is live, very active, that is bank interest. All these business people, they used to run their business based on bank loans and advances from financial institutions. But government of India did not freeze the interest rate. Though they are under lockdown, the interest rate is active. That is getting mounted. That is a big stress, big burden on them, which makes them worry about the future of their own business. So, because of the factors, all these factors, a combination of all these factors, what happens is that uh, that's why we classify that economic activity came to a standstill. No one knows what is going on. There is no clue of a clear path, clear direction in which the post-COVID economy, Indian economy, or global economy will sail. This is the current scenario. From this point of view, again, I'll give some reference. If everyone is under crisis, people below poverty line, vulnerable section, they are starving for food. They are almost crying for second set of packaged food. Otherwise, we would even say people may die without food price. This is. Does it mean that government of India doesn't have money? Is it so? Or in this 40 days itself, the entire economic activity came to a standstill and there is no money with government of India? This is a very serious question which needs to be answered if you talk about recovery. Because any crisis for that matter, whether it is created by a financial product or by health issue, first thing is relief. Recovery. Second is recovery. Third thing is reform. So relief, recovery, and reform are very important. The first stage is relief. We have to give relief. We have to keep the people not so happy, at least content. Okay, government is there to take care of us. Such set of feeling should be there among the people. And government, there is a role, there is a responsibility on the part of the government to take care of the citizens. Everyone is a citizen, whether it is an Ambani or a small flower vendor, or all citizens, all are equal for a government. So relief is must. What sort of relief? I was telling about several need by all these stakeholders. Where will the government go for fund? Already the finance minister has announced a relief for 1.7 lakh crore. And the second set of relief package, people say that it is going to be announced very shortly. I don't know. I'm not talking about the RBI policy interventions. RBI, even yesterday, RBI intervened for mutual funds to the extent of 50,000 lakh. Sorry, to the extent of 50,000 crores. RBI intervened or came to gave an announcement that it will be going for auctioning for 50,000 crores for creating liquidity with banks so that mutual funds are safer. Investors funds with mutual funds are a bit safer. That is for a particular arrangement for mutual funds. Okay. Likewise, earlier two times RBI is intervened. That is not part of my discussion now. I am talking only from the fiscal point of view, from the government point of view. 1.7 lakh crore package was announced by our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman some almost closer to 1 month back. Is it enough for a big country like India with 140 crore, closer to 140 crore population? Is it enough to? Enough of such a small relief package? Definitely, it is not enough. Definitely, it is not enough because now, at this point of view, if I say it is not enough, the question is, how do you say so? Yes, it is not enough. Considering the GDP of our country, the GDP of India is the fifth largest in the world. Based on GDP, India is fifth largest country in the world. How much? The GDP of our country 2019-20 is closer to 200 lakh crores. 200 lakh crores is the GDP of our country. 2020-21, our GDP was expected to be 230 plus lakh crores. The budget, I'm talking about the budget. The budget of our country 2019-20 is 26.5 lakh crores. Budget for 2021 is closer to 30 lakh crores. So just imagine a country with 230 lakh crores GDP and 10% closer to or a little above to 10% is the country's budget, 30 lakh crores. Okay. And if you compare the GDP of India, just 1% was spent for as relief package. 1,70,000. This is very small compared to America spent one shot. They made a bill for $2 trillion financial package for all employees, businesses, $2 trillion, which is around 6% of close to 10% of American GDP. Malaysia, a close neighbor in Asia, in our Asian region, they had spent 16% of our GDP, their GDP, whereas in India, just 1% or less than 1% of India's GDP was announced as relief package for a very big country which is having 142. This is what is that? This is serious. So people say that no country cannot tolerate all these things because we have a very, like say, huge loss in this lockdown. Yes, 230 crore GDP divided by 365 days, multiplied by 40 days of lockdown period, 40 lakh crores over, which means 1 years of budgetary provisions is siphoned away by this 40 days lockdown period. If any extension of lockdown period, you can almost multiply 41, 42, 43, you can multiply, you can come to the conclusion what it is. Yes, I agree. 1 year of progress, budgetary amount, is siphoned away by just 40 days of lockdown. I agree. But however, the need is compared with the global, compared with leading economies of the world, we have to increase our relief package at least 5 or 6% of GDP, which will be around closer to 10 lakh crores. So if you provide 10 lakh crores, not exactly 10 lakh crores, 6 lakh crores, 7 lakh crores of second set of relief package to all the stakeholders. I'm not talking only about the vulnerable section or people below the poverty line. To all stakeholders in this economy, definitely we can think of a V-shaped recovery, which means now the economy is fine. Once the corona impact comes to a standstill, from that point of time, there should be a V-shaped recovery. This V-shaped recovery, for this V-shaped recovery, this financial assistance relief package has to be announced now, or by this time it should have been announced, but it hasn't. Why I am telling this? If you want a V-shaped recovery, or otherwise what will happen? Instead of V-shaped recovery, it will be a U-shaped recovery. If not U-shaped recovery, it will be a tick size recovery, which means there will be a fall, a tick, make a tick mark, it will be a fall, and slowly there will be a, we don't know how long it will take. And we don't know how many bees are there in the, this is the situation. But as far as India is concerned, unlike other countries, we are very strong. Certain aspects, we are fifth largest economy in the world. We are very fundamentally strong, unlike other countries. The economy actively will resume immediately because we have a very strong agrarian base. Though agriculture is contributing just 17% of the GDP as of now, less than 17% of the GDP as of now. If you look at the employment opportunity that is provided by agriculture, it is 50%, even more than 50%. Which means that the entire rural segment can immediately, it's already active. It is not so, it is not dormant, it is active with a small stimulus, with a very small stimulus or a very bigger stimulus. The economic activity in the rural segment, in the agriculture sector, can be recovered. I mean, the recovery is can be quick and possible. That is the strength of our country. We have sufficient food grains with the Food Corporation of India, which is 4 times, 5 times the required strategic need. People say that around 7 million tons of wheat and paddy is available, and even milled paddy rice is available with the Food Corporation of India. We need not bother. It's not for me and you, at least for those who are deserving, for the people who are looking for food and food grains. Government should open that. That is a very big thing that is there with the government of India at this point of time, unlike other countries. And there is another harvesting season is going to come up, and people, the agriculturist prediction is that there will be a very good yield. So we not bother about the stock which is there. Minimum stock to be kept with the Food Corporation of India. We can release that to each and every deserving Indian citizen periodically, not to one lot, periodically it can be done. Second set of relief measure of minimum 5,000 rupees should be given to everyone in this country, irrespective of whether he is having a ration card or not, whether he is having an Aadhaar card or not, whether he is having a general account or not. Everyone should be provided with this relief. So that similarly, wages, salary has to be compensated for tiny and small scale industries. Even large corporates, if there is a need, it has to be carried out. When all these things are happening, definitely immediate recovery is possible. Immediate recovery is possible. Assured recovery is possible. That is the strength of our. One more strength of our economy is our domestic consumption, domestic demand. India is not an export dominant country, unlike China. China produces 1/3 of total production of the world. Because of this corona crisis, Chinese export market has collapsed. Export market is a worrying factor for China, not for us, because India is not a very big export, but we are a net importing country. So export market, we are not bothered. That is what like say we are out of that fear as of now to some extent. Even though there is an impact, but to some extent we need not worry about that factor as well. So what happens is that we can concentrate on our domestic economy. Domestic economy itself is very huge. For the entire world, India is the market. Forget about the entire world. We will concentrate on our own domestic production and consumption, demand and supply. It will internally match. That is very interesting factor for recovery for India. We need not bother about our imports, because India is an import-dependent economy. Why should we bother about imports at this point of time? Because we have sufficient foreign exchange reserves with the Reserve Bank of India. Something around $475 billion of US dollar reserve is there with the Reserve Bank of India, which can meet 11 months as on date, 11 months of our import requirements. That is an interesting factor. We can recapitalize, even capital investments can be carried out. I mean, the machineries, purchase of machineries can be carried out at any point of time for internal production and development process. This is another interesting. The highlight of it is that the present crude oil price. Last week it was minus. 4 days back it was minus. I mean the WTI, Western Texas Intermediate. Even burnt crude was selling for $7 per barrel. We are very, very, very fortunate. The global economic factors, few factors such as our forex reserve, our not much reliant export economy, the price of crude oil, these are all availability of food grains, the Food Corporation of India are all very interesting factors at this point of time to give an immediate kickstart to our Indian economy after COVID crisis is eradicated. So this is the scenario. So what happens is that in this particular point of time, you have to understand that, okay, Indian economy, we can give a kickstart. Where will the funds budgetary gaps come from? I said 6 lakh crore, 7 lakh crore of relief package. Even it may go 10 lakh, 12 lakh crore for that matter. Okay, it's all should be monetized. It's a gap because there is no economic activity. The revenue which is supposed to be, which was supposed to come to the central government and state government is not coming. It will not come because of lockdown. Then how to fill this gap? Where will the money come from? All non-committed budgetary provisions. I said 30 lakh crore is the India's budget provision. Okay, in that 30 lakh crore, there are certain committed expenditure and non-committed expenditure. Pension, salary, interest payments, etc. are all coming under committed expenditure. We have to give. Now the DA for 1.5 years, the government of India has freezed. A few other things also they will take. We don't mind about it. But coming to the non-committed expenditure, we have good number size of money like infrastructure facilities, dams, purchase of arms and ammunitions, bullet train projects, construction of a new parliament. So these are very huge funds that is available under non-committed expenditure, budgeted for non-committed expenditure by the government of India. The entire funds of non-committed expenditure can be diverted to the relief package, second set of relief package, by which what happens is that I said earlier, relief, recovery, reform. So you can divert that for relief measure. Recovery, we can think of that later. The second is the recovery process. For that recovery process, when entire money went for relief measure, where will the money come for recovery process? That for that recovery process, again, it's all government involvement. Government plays a major role. We can increase our fiscal deficit. Need not be 3.5% limit. We can go for further dilution. It can be 5%, 6%. We can increase our fiscal deficit gap, and it has to be monetized. For example, how? There is no money at all with the government. For example, RBI is having 8 lakh crore asset. Still, it is a very strong, another strong point for government of India. Forget about that. Government can go for printing of money. Print money, print Indian rupees, circulate in the economy, meet all this expenditure. Definitely, people will say that because when money is printed and pumped into the economy, inflation will go up. I am not for that. I don't agree with that. Already, where is the role of inflation at this point of time? Zero demand. There is no money in the pocket, people's pocket. Where will the demand come from? Only after pumping money, little bit of demand will be there, which will create some sort of inflation. That inflation will be meager and which will get compensated for the inflation that is going to be created by probable printing of and supply of money, the pumping of money into the economy. So it will take some, after all this process, it will take time to recover. I said we, maybe you, or it will be a deep process. Provided we have to understand that after this COVID, there should not be a war between America and Iran. There should not be a war between America and China. There should not be a war between America and North Korea, or Russia and America for that matter. There should be stability and peace for 10 years for recovery. So you have to understand that even if domestic economy, like country like India, thinks of a recovery process, pumping money among to the people, 5,000 rupees each, salary compensated. If some industry is too hard, it is almost ailing, about to die. For example, tourism industry, travel industry, restaurant industry are all going to be affected seriously after this COVID. People will be scared to get into a restaurant. Government of India should give a helping hand to such sort of industries for the recovery process. So what will happen is that even if we take all these efforts locally, you have to understand that we are living in a globalized world, we are living in a digitalized world, we are living in an interconnected, interlinked world. For any supply chain to get complete, There is an international involvement. Cars produced in Chennai, only assembled in Chennai, parts are coming from rest of the world. That car is getting sold in India as well as in other parts of the world. China, which produces 30% of world requirement, it has to reach other countries. America, for each and everything which depends upon other countries, can't function its local economy. Though they have their own domestic recovery process. Throughout the country, debates will be taking place. Economists will be giving their own ideas. Finance ministry, officers in the finance ministry, likewise the central banks of all the countries will be thinking of their own domestic recovery. But whatever the domestic level thinking will be a small level because we are living in a globalized, interconnected world. We have to understand that if you want global recovery, if you want the entire world to come out of the crisis, financial crisis caused by corona virus, you have to think at global level. Again, I'm coming to the point. What happened in Bretton Woods? It was a consortium of international intellectuals who sat in Bretton Woods, came out with interesting developments like IMF, back and other economic and financial policies. After global economic crisis, it is G20 and other nations played a major role in stopping global economy from further fall and recovering the economy from slowdown, international global slowdown. Again, after this coronavirus, whatever we do locally, the impact will be a small recovery. There will be vibrancy, but there will not be a V-shaped growth. For V-shaped growth, that V is global. That V is international because economy is for which I would suggest my opinion and my thought process is that IMF has already formed a committee, some external advisory committee to take stock of the global developments in which our former Governor of Reserve Bank of India, is Professor Raghuram Rajan. Similarly, American President Trump has constituted committees in which is Sundar Pichai and a few other Indian American CEOs there. Sector specific for tourism, for financial sector, for banking, almost education. For all sectors, he has divided the economy in different sectors and he has formed groups for each and every sector to advise the government of America, Trump, on the recovery process. It is for America, it is for domestic. For IMF, it is on international. So what I suggest, will be the very, very feasible thing is that, like Second World War, after Second World War, after this COVID crisis, economists, the think tank of international countries, leading nations of the world, they should assemble like Bretton Woods. They should gather in one place. Let it be America, or let it be New Delhi, or London, or Spain, Italy, wherever it may be. This think tank should assemble, gather at a place and debate, deliberate, do a brainstorming session on probable new economic order, new world order, a new economic world policy to guide, to direct, show paths for the international countries in the future. Like World Bank and IMF was created after World War. I'm not for that, but anyhow, it was giving a direction to the world. Likewise, it is not for independent leaders like whether it is Narendra Modi or Donald Trump. If it is going to be independent, single-minded attitude of all this managing all this crisis, which is a global crisis, it will be a failure. It will not be a V-shaped recovery. Slowly it can happen. It will take a long time. And in between, lot of new pandemics will come, new crises will come. So for economic recovery, think tank should gather in a place. Maybe I would say like Keynesian economics. John Maynard Keynes, we classified as Keynesian economics. Some new Keynes, some new Paul Krugman, new Raghuram Rajans, new Henry Textor Harry Texter for that matter. Let new sort of economists, let the young minds of this world assemble and show direction for the global recovery process. This is my opinion about the economic impact and the probable recovery process or the requirements for the probable V-shaped recovery for the entire world. That is quite possible. It is not so, I'm not telling a very rare idea or not at all, which is not going to be possible at all. It is not so. It is quite easy. That is out of experience also. For example, I will say, for climate change, there is a global environmental issues are there, climate change issues are there. Countries around the world assembled. We call it Paris Agreement. Earlier we called it Kyoto Protocol. Now there is a global framework for meeting the challenges posed by climate change. International countries, almost all countries are doing a major role. We call it Sustainable Development Goal. When they can come together to fight the danger posed by climate change, why can't they come together to fight the danger posed by this coronavirus on the global economy? Very easy. Let there be a global parliament. Let United Nations play a role of a global parliament. Let countries take part in the status of, countries become states. Let there be a global government for that matter to deal with, particularly with pandemics and global financial crises which are going to come up. Yeah, definitely it's going to come up. So we need an international approach. Yeah, we need to treat globe as a unit, Earth as a unit, and find remedies. We should have policies in place so that some sort of immediate recovery, governmental help to give a helping hand to the vulnerable sections of the society immediately after any crisis for them. Such sort of impact I am expecting. Some sort of policy measures I am expecting from global leaders. If not immediately, the entire starting from our Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Donald Trump, everyone should think in that process, because the days of India, America, Russia, those things are slowly fading away. Globe is one country. Globe should be treated as one entity. That is the day. A day will come. A day will come. If not, I'm not talking about next year or 5 years, 10 years. Take it from me. A day will come that entire, there won't be any nations. There won't be any borders for that matter. There won't be any jurisdiction limits. The entire world will have one parliament, one leadership, one set of ministry, cabinet to control, to supervise, to provide, welfare measures to the entire world. World as one unit definitely is going to happen in the near future, because crisis is not happening once in 100 years or 200 years. Those days are over. Now 10th year, just 2009, 2008 to now 10 years, we are facing the crisis. In future, in every 5 years, we will face the crisis. India taking its own decision, Tamil Nadu taking its own decision, somewhere Singapore taking its own decision, in America, New York taking own decision, California taking its own decision, one too. This is not going to work in the future. God has created earth as a unit. This earth will have one government in the future. This is my submission. This is my, expectation of how to how to recover, how to, give stimulus, how to give a helping hand to the ailing global economy. Thanks for your wonderful listening. I told you that I'll be talking for 1 hour. It's about an hour now. I'm closing the session as of now. Now it is open for debate. I will try to unmute the participants one by one. If you can able to text your question in the chat box, I will have a look into it and I will unmute that particular participant, understand the question, and I will give my response, opinion, reply, whatever it is we can debate, they debate on it. Thank you.